Chris Scullion, it's finally time after a decade. We're both here in Cardiff, Wales. What have you thought of your week in Wales so far?
It's been okay. I always forget Wales has a lot of castles, unlike Glasgow. But I suppose that's something that you kind of forget when you consider that Clash at the Castle is coming to Glasgow this year.
Oh, look who it is! It's CM Punk.
It's Charles Montgomery Punk.
For the first time in
Lovely.
history, is going to start reigning CM Punks. He's back in WWE. The first WWE 2K24 DLC pack is out now, the ECW Punk pack, and we're going to talk over some gameplay footage I got of it earlier today. Now, due to the magic of technology, Chris is watching this file about one or two frames a second, but from the limited amount that you've seen of CM Punk, what do you think of his visage? What do you think of his, like, as someone who has captured comparison shots of every wrestler on the planet, you are the expert in this.
I think it's strong. It looks the part. He obviously has got the new gear. He does his little "it's clobbering time" thing. But from what I saw, I've not, just for the record, for people who don't know, I've not been able to access this yet. It seems to have launched early on PlayStation and PC, but not on Xbox, so I haven't actually got to play it yet. But from the video that was shared on the social media earlier in the week, it appears that it doesn't actually say it's clobbering time, because apparently that must be some sort of Marvel trademark.
Yeah.
So he just kind of mouths it, but you can just kind of assume that that's what he's saying. Other than that, certainly looks the part. Visually impressive.
I think they've really nailed. There's a few points in this that you see his current kind of. He's got a bit of an old man's face these days. His skin is a little bit saggy, and thus his eyes pop out constantly. And they've really nailed it in this. There's a few eye pops where you're like, oh, that's accurate. He doesn't just look like kind of young CM Punk. He has the bags.
Although I do note tweaks to the tattoos for copyright reasons. There's no Pepsi logo there.
Yeah,
it's just a flat circle.
So I mean, in the Cobra Commander logo on the other side is also slightly changed, but I prefer they do this than what they used to do and just leave it blank because it looks so crap. But apart from that, I mean, I doubt the absolute bums that tattooed a young Phil Brooks and his teens are going to be suing 2K like Randy Orton.
Well, from what I saw on Twitter, a recently banned and reinstated member of the creation community seems to have already put up like the fixed tattoos. So that's quite good.
Yeah, I also wonder, like, obviously this now is a base for young versions of CM Punk, but I wish they'd included like an ECW version where he had slightly younger looking skin, because if you just whack some long hair on this guy, he's going to look not like CM Punk.
Yeah. The cynic in me thinks that might come later as a My Faction persona.
Yeah.
That you can kind of have to pay a small fortune to try and unlock. But yeah, we'll see.
His moveset has obviously been in the game because he's been like the most popular created character since like day dot, but it is like it's so nice to have a proper version, because even the best created version wasn't quite right, but having a real version of him with all his, even though his moveset's a weird one because he's not really wrestled in the past couple of years because he's been perennially injured, but
it's famously known that the top 5 wrestlers created in all time in wrestling game history are CM Punk, Owen Hart, Bob Backlund, Bob Holly in his Sparky Plug phase, and Kamala, the Ugandan giant. So it's good to see at least one of them returning.
I mean,
I'm not keeping my fingers crossed for the rest.
We've got Pat McAfee's pals, but not Spark Plug Bob Holly. Come on now.
I know, it's disgusting, but well, maybe disgusting's a bit severe.
It's repugnant.
It's a shame, is what I meant. I know, it's disappointing. But it's good to see a wee teaser here of the CM Punk Drew McIntyre match that will happen one day if they both get fit.
He's got the authentic world's worst elbow drop, which has been part of Punk's lineup for quite a while. It's weird. It's like, so this taunt is very weird. He does like press ups on his knuckles for some reason.
and then just gets a kick in.
I am. I mean, it speaks to the size of a kind of star CM Punk is, but in another life, they would have waited for 2K25 to get him out and like made him the pre-order bonus for the next game. The fact that he's the first DLC character for this, I think, is actually pretty good of 2K.
Yeah, especially because they know they'll be able to make an absolute fortune off this DLC. It's the sort of thing you might not get people buying an entirely new game just for one guy, but a DLC pack, people happily throw their money at it just to get Punk in the game they've already got. So it's a clever move. It's shrewd. And obviously they're doing it later with Jade Cargill as well.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's like
obviously
6 months from now.
I know exactly. Like she'll have left before then, or she'll have been found out by then, like not actually being that good. But we'll see. But yeah, so far so good. Does this? I've not viewed this video yet. Does this go into the ECW characters, or is this CM Punk heavy?
No, we've got everyone. Come on now. I wouldn't leave you with that. There's I just had to get my CM Punk fill in at the and at the start of the start of the thing. I didn't realize this until after the end of this match, but he's got his normal finisher, the GTS, but he also has a super finisher, which is a new animation for the Pepsi plunge, which, if you're unfamiliar, is a pedigree from the top rope. This bit made me laugh. Very accurate. Too injured to even do the GTS.
Exactly. That's, I mean, then he gets locked in the game for 6 months. You can't play as him again. In the future, I would like to see guest commentaries in games like this, because like it's nice to have the stock commentators, but it'd be nice to like have a guest commentator option where they get certain superstars to record maybe 40 or 50 lines, and have them sit right ringside as a guest commentator, and they just throw in some random lines every now and then. I think that'd be quite entertaining. Just one for 2K if you're listening. Which I know they famously are.
I thought you were pitching that like fans could start selling guest commentary packs, so we could make a bottom selling guest commentator packs. Me and you.
Exactly. I'm not sure that would go down too well with the lawyers, but
no, the first time we called Drew McIntyre a current bun, it'd be over. But that
indeed.
That aside, I actually, now that we're on this Clash at the Castle venue, this is the first WWE game I think ever that they've accurately represented huge arenas. All it took was moving that that back lot of fans miles away, and it looks so much better. But here we are. GTS.
It does look good. It does look good. It's better. I mean, it's going to look a bit silly then when they had Clash at the Castle next year with like 30 people in it.
It's just got the big circular like hydro. I hope they have all like the random wee middle-aged Glasgow women that are ushers standing around.
It's just going to look like the ECW arena.
Speaking of, and it would have been extra work, but it would have been nice if they'd actually put the ECW arena in this. We've got One Night Stand, but like that's in the ballroom, like not the actual little shithole that they used to run in Philadelphia. But yes, CM Punk, I think it looks great. It's exactly what I wanted. He has his like incredibly baggy eyes, all the tattoos that you'd want, and some decent. It's got the
slight grey and the slight grey in the facial hair as well, which is good. It shows this is this is your dad, CM Punk.
Let's move on for the crap though, Chris. Let's get into some serious stuff.
Finally,
we've got Extreme Rules. We've got a tag team match. We've got the ECW One Night Stand. This was me checking to see if they had actually added an ECW thing, and I didn't realise, but they did not. So we have got also as part of this pack. Ignore that Chris Jericho, that's a created guy. Bubba Ray Dudley, Devin Dudley, and
Big
Devin Dudley, and we've got the man himself, the Sandman, complete with a feature that we dreamed of, Chris Scullion. We'll see it in a minute. And the Funker, Terry Funk, once got kicked by a donkey.
I hope it's what I think it's going to be. I'm excited to see. I'm also glad to see they've kept in WWE Fastlane, which is where they store their nuclear weapons.
Sadly, Terry Funk does not come with a Chainsaw Charlie, my faction persona, which is a real shame.
That's a shame. Here's Bubba Ray / Billy Ray Dudley.
Yeah. Number one
Devon
podcaster.
/ Devon.
Yeah, brother Devon. So it's weird because when you're picking
I was going to say, are those t-shirts? Aye. Yeah, on you go. Because I think we're thinking the same thing here. Like, are their t-shirts both from the same era?
I don't believe so. Like, the problem is when you pick an era of the Dudleys to do it, they seem to have just amalgamated like several different ones together. Like,
that's a bit odd.
Like, if you were doing an ECW pack, you would maybe want them to be in like the tie-dye, like the really like the Bubba Ray stuff. But this is like kind of post TLC. Bubba Ray looks like he does now. Like he just looks like podcaster Bubba Ray, but
yeah, it's excellent. Devon looks apart as well. To be fair, brother Devon.
I did actually have the thought that until today, no participant in the TLC or Triangle Ladder matches was in these games. Like, it's crazy that we've got to the point where like Edge, who was a stalwart of WWE games, nope. Christian, nope. The Hardys have always been in and out. They've been weird about it, but
but not this time.
The last game, here's some trivia for you, Chris, see if you can answer this. What is the last WWE game to feature all members of the Triangle Ladder match?
I would imagine it would be the 360 era. To feature the mode.
No, to feature all six competitors.
All six of them. 2012.
It would shut your mouth. Because Jeff
really that far back.
Jeff was gone for ages, and then Christian was gone at TNA. It was.
Right, hold on. Here's the test, and I'm hoping this is what you're referring to because we spoke about this in the podcast. And I was hoping that when I saw this on social media, it was purely because a certain option had been turned off.
There you go.
We got a wee bit of crimson.
A little bit of crimson.
Excellent.
They actually make him
That's
bleed.
excellent.
And it's like
that's exactly what I wanted. I thought when he turned, I thought it was disappearing again, like Wolverine style. When he moves, it goes away and comes back.
I think that might just be the feed because it looks good on this.
All right, okay.
Here's the problem.
Does it continue bleeding when the match starts, or does it kind of get cleaned up again before the match starts?
Unfortunately, it gets cleaned up again. I believe this is mainly because it would break first blood matches, and secondly because they can write it off and be like, oh, it's only a little bit because it's not the full blood like decal. I was worried they were going to do it. He would hit the beer can once and it'd look like he'd been stabbed in the jaw. Like, but I like the idea that he's just wiped it away once things get started. But I'm conflicted on this Sandman because I feel like they've done him dirty with the hair because I don't think he was ever that baldy. Like, I feel like he had like a decent...
No, it looks a bit like Sting. As in Sting in the Police.
Yeah.
No,
not Steve Borden.
No, not Steve. But actual Sting.
Yeah. Ironically, the Sandman's first gimmick was a surfer, much like Sting. So, follow the money.
As in Steve Borden.
As in Steve Borden, yeah, not the police.
Good though, it's reasonable likeness.
It's nice to have him. If you break out as Sandman, you still have the kendo stick, like you have all the gear.
Nice.
And there's a feature in this match that you'll see that in WWE 2K24, you're able to assign a wrestler like a signature item, meaning that even in an Extreme Rules match where you're supposed to have the full weapon wheel the first time you go under the ring, you'll always get this signature weapon. So you can get like 4 tables immediately because both Dudleys have the signature table, and the same with the Singapore Cane. Last but not least, God rest him, the Funker.
Oh, the Funker. Funk you
from Amarillo, Texas. Forever.
Is it what? Funk you? Oh, there he is. He's got the Funk you t-shirt.
Yeah. That's the Terry Funk to me, even though this was like a late in career kind of like. Your hardcores will say like, no, it's Japan 1972, but no, this is the Terry Funk to me.
Nah, your arse. Unless if they're not going to have him going forever, then this is the version you want. You want Funk you, not a real learning institution, but we'll let the lawyers sort that out.
Yeah, despite the fact that he looks like
this-
Silent Bob in this iteration, he would continue to wrestle for another 25 years.
He does a bit. This is a young Terry Funk, isn't it? even though it's the Funk You t-shirt, his face looks not weathered in the slightest. I mean, he looks about 40 there.
Just 25 years in the business when that was taken.
Exactly. A greenhorn. Oh, there he is. Not a mark on him.
No.
Here we go.
Then we get into it. And it's a typical WWE game tag team match where you just run at each other and leather each other over and over again. Yeah. Oh. Do you remember Lord Al would always say Donnybrook? He would always talk about Donnybrook since.
Did he? Oh, that's right. Yeah. Big Lord Alfred Hayes.
Lord Alfred Hayes has been like whitewashed for the history of the WWF, and he's not even one of the ones that.
He was, and I always liked him because he brought us a kind of decorum and class to the WWF, because you always had your Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby the Brain Heenan. Like Gorilla Monsoon had the kind of your kind of fancy Madison Square Garden type announcer voice, and then obviously had Bobby the Brain with the wisecracks, and then every now and then Lord Alfred Hayes would turn up. Ladies and gentlemen, here's what's happening tonight in primetime wrestling. The big boss man challenges Andre the Giant, and you're like, oh, okay, this is serious business. A posh Englishman's come in.
And obviously, if you bought Silver Vision videos and DVDs, he would be the voice of the promotional consideration is paid for by the following. Lord Al. I think Lord Al, Jack Tunney, like all these new generation figures that get completely
because Jack Tunney was Jack Tunney not involved in one of the territories, and they just brought him in just to kind of keep him sweet. I think I remember. Yeah. I don't know too much about Jack Tunney. I remember him obviously back in the day. I remember Jack Tunney being the man who decided to, after the Undertaker tombstoned Hulk Hogan on top of a steel chair to win the title, which devastated me as a child. Jack Tunney came out and says, "Hey, wrap that." We're basically took the belt off him, and then made the belt. I believe made the belt the Royal Rumble prize. That was how they got around that. But
was that in the lead up to the Flair for the Gold? Was that the lead up to that Royal Rumble? Yeah,
I might be getting my timelines mixed up, but I'm sure Tunney came out and went, "Oh, this isn't cricket."
Jack Tunney could not cut a promo if there was a gun to his wife's head. He was compared to Vince in that era,
which there occasionally was.
Yeah, famously. Jack Tunney. There's a really funny clip of a Japanese wrestler cutting a promo, and he's like, "Na na 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 na, Jack Tunney, na 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 na." There's no Japanese equivalent for Jack Tunney. It's just Jack Tunney.
Just quickly checking, he is actually dead, because I did throw in a God rest him.
Oh, he's got to be. Come on.
I don't want it to be. Yeah, he died in 2004, aged 69.
Nice. Oh, nice. God rest him.
But yeah, what a man.
Yeah. Lord Al's got to be dead as well, surely.
I would imagine so, but I don't remember them making a big song and dance about it. But you would think they would have dug him up every now and then and kind of brought him on. Yeah, he died in 2005.
Yeah. God.
Age 76.
They were dropping like flies then.
Born in London. Real name Alfred Hayes.
Oh.
He wasn't a lord though.
No. Not related to Michael P.S.
Sadly not.
Michael
Hayes was distinguished. Or not related to Johnny. Hayes was distinguished by his masterpiece theatre diction and Oxford accent, apparently. Fun fact for the kids. But yeah, what a man.
As you can see, there is 1,000 tables out in this match, and it's become untenable. This is the point where I always remember during these matches when I'm playing as like created versions of the Dudleys. The only way to do a 3D is like a tag finisher, which doesn't work in a tornado tag. So in real time, I'm working out how I'm trying to finish this match. But I mean, they're fun to play as. Like Bubba's got like a, I think Bubba's moveset is like kind of has all the Bully Ray moves too, so people can make a Bully Ray if they want to, if they're so inclined. Okay. Whereas if you
he's got that weird kind of sit down atomic drop thing where he
the Bubba bomb
from behind.
Yeah.
Where he sits in his arse.
Yeah.
That one.
Devon I mean, £1,000,000 if you can name me any of Devon's moves. He's really a minister without portfolio of a wrestler.
The only Devon move I can remember is just where he holds their legs open so that Bubba Ray can do the diving headbutt, which I don't think does much. He doesn't even does chip damage. I'm pretty sure that's Bubba Ray doing all the damage there.
I wonder if that move's in it. Really is the Was Up the copyright property of the Budweiser frogs? Like, what's the problem?
Well, that's
here?
the thing. Well, that's what we'll need to find out. I'm sure. I'll get on that as soon as I can actually access the bloody game.
Yeah, can we? VGC's got lawyers for this kind of thing, don't we?
Here we go. He's going through a table here, surely. Oh, it's just moved though.
There we go. Shockingly,
clinical.
Everything actually worked out. He fucked up that table though.
And he went through that other table. Fun times. So is this just a stand pinfall to win?
Yeah, it's although the commentary was like the first team that gets a pinfall will have an advantage in this elimination match. I was like, Corey, it's not a fucking elimination match. It's one fall to a finish. Thank you very much. Here's Bubba's incredibly shit punches, and it does the little crotch thing, which I mean, if he didn't, I'd be returning the game, the console, and honestly the hobby. I'd be giving up. But brother Devon absolutely desperate for a pin, try to get out of here as quickly as possible. I try and break it up.
Pin a fresh Terry Funk, and that's just poor. Do you always this is rather tasteless, but I'm sure our readers will be our viewers will be fine with it. I always wanted to do Royal Rumble, like set a CPU Royal Rumble going, consisting solely of deceased wrestlers, and making it like an afterlife Royal Rumble, creating like an afterlife themed arena, and then recording a commentary over it. If anyone listening would like me and Jordan to actually record such a commentary,
that sounds amazing.
Talk about their past, talk about their history, while also possibly ripping the mic a wee bit.
Mate,
let us know in the
comments. I asked what people want for the podcast, and 90% of the answers was do a wrestling podcast. So I think they're going to want that. Oh.
The problem is the best idea for a wrestling podcast has already been done. It's those guys who watch the pay-per-views one at a time, and just do the kind of summaries of them. If that hadn't been done before, then that definitely would have been our ticket to fame and fortune. But all the good ideas are taken.
I think we should just do like, we watch all of the NXT game show season.
Remember that.
We watch all of Tough Enough. Like, we watch the absolute non-wrestling shite.
Listen. A very heartfelt God rest her to Sarah Lee, winner of Tough Enough.
Oh God,
died at an extremely young age, a wildly young age. Before she got a chance to. I think she had one fight in NXT.
Yeah, that was the same. That was the same intake that gave you like Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose and all these people that actually became something. Somebody. Yeah, this is me searching for the ECW title. No, I don't think so either. So we've got Sandman v RVD for the final match of this presentation.
Nice.
Don't worry, I skipped the intros. We're still in the same ECW arena because it's the only one. We talked about it on the podcast, but obviously Sandman doesn't have fucking Enter Sandman. Jesus Christ, go over yourselves. But
again, like we said in the podcast, probably the money it would have cost to license that would have totally undone all the CM Punk DLC money. It'd become a passion project. Nice pixelated belt there.
Yeah, would it cost them that much money to put Joey Styles on the stage so I could like throw him through that table?
Oh my God!
Did you ever hear this? That was a good. Oh my God! Did you ever hear the story about Joey Styles battering JBL, or like punching him, or like standing up for himself, kind of thing?
Oh, very, very vaguely.
Yeah, I think
I can't remember the details.
I think JBL was like starting shit because he's a massive fucking dickhead, and Joey just punched him once and it knocked him to the ground, and then that was it.
He knows the score.
Yeah, even though Joey Styles looks like a substitute teacher. Sandman fights like. Do you remember Boraicho from Mortal Kombat, the drunk fighter? He's got that.
Famously.
Yeah, he's got that kind of like the drunk.
Oh, the boy fu. Aye, I know what I mean. And the guy for Virtua Fighter too.
Yeah.
His name escapes me as well. Yeah, I can see that. I'll tell you what I recommend when you're talking about the Joey Styles. The audiobook telling the story of kayfabe commentaries. Has
Oh.
got a lot of interesting anecdotes in there about people turning up and just being drunk and like not being able to do it and asking for money in advance and not turning up and all that kind of stuff. There's lots of kind of juicy
Oh
stuff
mate,
in there.
that's my night sorted. I love.
It's on Audible.
Oh, is it?
I'm sure we can put a little link in the video
Yeah.
to an Audible subscription where we can get money off it.
Use the code VGC for 0% off.
No, it's excellent. It's not that long. It's like 7 or 8 hours long, and it's read by the guy who did all the kayfabe commentaries. He reads it out, so it's very good. Definitely worth listening to.
Do you? So my favorite shoot interview of all time actually features one of these participants, and it's RVD, and he's talking about Shawn Michaels. Have you ever seen it?
Oh, and he does a rather unfortunate impression of Shawn Michaels.
Unfortunate,
A
incredibly accurate
a visually unfortunate impression. Wait, let's just say I'm glad this is audio only because I'd be doing it now.
Oh, absolutely. We'd both be sat here skelly-eyed doing his like stupid voice. Like, I don't feel bad about making fun of Shawn Michaels because he was a terrible person for a long time.
It was by all accounts, including by his own accounts. He was a rather toxic character back then. I hate this minigame.
Yeah,
it goes on too long. When
it does. I've actually shortened it like in my settings, but I'd like it for some dramatic moments. It works quite well. But
like on the default settings, like if you do it for long enough, you can stun them because you hit them so many times, but it still continues.
Yeah.
Even though they're stunned, they still keep doing it. It's weird. I'm not a big fan.
At this point of the fight, I also completely forgot what the fuck Sandman's signature was because in my mind, Sandman had 2 moves: Singapore Cane and Pile Driver, and that was it. Like, I can't remember him wrestling at all.
I would it'll never happen. I would love to see like a spin-off of this that focused on ECW back in the day, because that's the one thing that always upset me was that ECW never got a good game.
Yeah.
It got Hardcore Revolution and Anarchy Rules on the PS1 and Dreamcast era, N64 era, and both were awful because they used the Warzone engine, but like were crap versions of Warzone. I would love an ECW game with this fidelity that just has like New Jack and Tommy.
Oh yeah, we're going to get New Jack in a 2K game.
Listen, the man was a good, clean man.
I can't. A man who, when he literally died, all they did was have Paul Heyman say, "We can't show any New Jack footage to commemorate him."
I'm not asking for a showcase mode. I just want the model in there so that I can.
If you did a showcase of New Jack, it's got like the objectives, and it's like, okay, throw this guy off the scaffolding to try and kill him.
The first you can open showcase mode with New Jack, and it just turns into a Yakuza game.
Oh, New Jack. God rest him. If he is dead.
God rest him indeed.
There's no way to know.
Well, that's the thing. Like, yeah, he was good at selling.
New Jack is everywhere. Oh, Sandman has new candlestick taunts as well, which is good.
Oh, excellent.
You kind of need that.
Yeah. If you're going to have the master of the candlestick, you're going to add a wee bit of flair.
He doesn't do the. Was it him that did the wanking candlestick thing, where like he would get somebody to wank it and he would like shoot beer out of his mouth in an ejaculatory style?
Don't recall. I do remember hearing that Jake the Snake used to do that in his darker days.
Was that? Am I maybe thinking? Is that the Blue Meanie? Maybe that feels Blue Meanie-ish.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It was Blue Meanie-ish. Meanie-ish.
He also battered JBL.
The star of the BWO. One of the worst factions in wrestling history.
Oh,
who else was it? Stevie Richards was in that.
It was so I can't think of the third member. It was Stevie Richards,
no,
Blue Meanie, and some other clown.
I'll have to look that up because that's going to annoy me now.
Oh yeah.
But what's BWO going to bring up in a Swedish electro pop group? Stevie Richards and Blue Meanie formed it.
Was it Cronus? Was he the last man? Was he the third man? But whose side is he on?
And then, hold on. So when they formed, it was Stevie Richards and the Blue Meanie. Raven teamed up with him for a while, but wasn't like properly in the BWO. Then they formed BWO Japan with Taka Michinoku, Terry Boy, and Dick Togo. And Stevie Richards started to call himself Big Stevie Cool.
Taka Michinoku, one of the most decorated professional wrestlers of all time, kicking about with a BWO. Oh, also look, they've got the Singapore cane, like that's not an STO. Whatever that move is. The Russian leg sweep.
Was Nova. Nova was the other member of the BWO playing Hollywood Nova. As you do.
Was that move? Did I make this up? Was that move called a white Russian leg sweep when he did it with a cane, or is that just me being too clever with the alcohol puns for the Sandman?
Potentially, this is the Sandman. Steven Sandman. That does ring a bell, quite possibly. If that's
not what it's called, some indie clown has used that, definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely a thing. I love that. That kind of forward roll off the top rope.
Chris, I have homework for you tonight. Go and it's on YouTube. Go and watch The Dark Side of the Ring on the Sandman. It's really good, especially because he's.
Is that a new one? Because I've seen it the first couple of seasons and I've not seen that one. Is that?
Yeah,
it
only came out recently and it's really good, mainly because he's no deed, so it's not actually that sad. But he started he was a male prostitute before he was a wrestler. He's lived some life, yeah.
So.
He was famous
James
for his
Fillington, I believe.
Yeah, people call him Hack. He was famous for his Singapore cane, you know. But the stories of like there's a bit where it's like, oh, he went to WCW and Bill Alfonso, Fonzie, was like, he had the access to the best gas in the world, so he was so jacked on all this gas. No, I love how little they care anymore. I'm getting my hole punched here because Sandman is quite shite in this, but it's a match for the ages.
Yeah, well, I mean, I suppose that's accurate because Sandman was very much. It was the persona rather than the actual.
Oh yeah, he's an entrance. He's like Road Dogg.
In ring capability. Aye, Road Dogg. Comparing the Sandman to Road Dogg.
I would watch 100 Sandman matches before I watched the Road Dogg try to bum somebody before they did the pump handle slam.
I prefer Road Dogg when he was the roadie.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest twists in wrestling history when Jeff Jarrett pretended he was singing his own theme song, and it turned out it was the roadie singing it behind the scenes instead. Scandalous, to say the least. But
I'm cool. I'm no, that's the Honky Tonk Man's theme song. I'm cool. I'm cocky. I'm bad. What was?
I think it was With My Baby Tonight. Was it that one?
Yeah.
We're home with my baby tonight.
Yeah, that's Brian James has always thought he had a voice. He's a fucking clown.
It's not as good as you remember. Rap is Crap.
Yes.
In WCW.
Rap is Crap that they didn't even release, despite the fact that they could have probably made some money on that from Mr. Perfect.
They should release that on one of those WWE rarities things that they've got these days.
They certainly should. Speaking of rarities.
Speaking of rap.
We should wrap
this up.
Thank you for joining me, Chris Scullion, in the land of extreme. Thanks for watching. We will be back with the podcast on Thursday, talk more about this shite, but until then, say goodbye, Chris.
Bye, Chris.
And we'll see you next time.